And welcome again, dear friends, to another edition of Fresh Bread. This is Reverend Phil Anderson, pastor of Oakwood United Methodist Church in Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church, coming to you for the next 5 minutes on this daily broadcast. Comes out on Mondays through Saturdays each week. On Sundays, of course, we have our sermon that comes out to you on kaumc.church. And this is the Tuesday, July 27th, 2021 edition of Fresh Bread. And again, we are just delighted to have you with us. I hope you're having a good week. You know, Tuesdays are that kind of one of those days, I got to get through Monday. Oh, my goodness, now I got to get through Tuesday. And then once Wednesday hits, if you're still in the workforce, Wednesday kind of comes, you go, it's a good day. I can kind of start seeing the end of the week ahead here. And, you just really enjoy these days as they come. Every day, though, is a gift, right? Every day is a blessing. We're so grateful for the days that we have. So we just thank God for these days. And again, I hope you're having a very good week here as we are in this last week of July 2021. My goodness, school's going to be starting here in a couple weeks. Kids didn't get a real long summer this year because of COVID and everything that happened last year. And the way classes were delayed, they went clear into, I believe, June the 2nd or 3rd for their classes this year. Might have even been June the 4th. I believe it was June the 4th, actually, when they finally got out here at the Topeka Public Schools. That was on a Friday. And, that means they only got about 2 months off, or maybe a little more, two months and a week. But, I think a lot of these kids are ready to get back. I pray that they'll be able to get back without having to wear all these masks, and that they'll be able to really get back to life of normalcy. Again, we just probably have no clue. We may never know, those of us who are adults, how difficult it was for kids this last year. So I really hope that when you see a young person in church, just encourage them. If you see them on the street, encourage them. Ask how their day is going. Ask what they're up to. Ask them where they go to school. And just kind of show a little interest in them, Show them a little love. And I know they would appreciate that, even if they don't act like they would. We were talking yesterday about Paul, and you can't really talk about Paul until you know who Saul was. And so I'm going to read a little bit today for you from Acts chapter 9. And it says, "Meanwhile, Saul was still breathing out murderous threats against the Lord's disciples. He went to the high priest and asked him for letters to do the synagogues in Damascus, so that if he found any there who belonged to the way, whether men or women, he might take them as prisoners to Jerusalem. Now as he neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice say to him, 'Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?' 'Who are you, Lord?' Saul asked. 'I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting,' he replied. 'Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do.'" I'll stop there. We'll continue with this tomorrow. I just want to say a couple things about this today, and that is that Saul was a rising star in the Jewish religion of his day. He was a Pharisee. He knew the law backwards and forward, a brilliant mind, really a real true leader in that particular faith community. And so when you think about the people God chooses to do things, you would probably think, well, this would probably be the last person that God would choose to help start up and lay the foundation for this thing we call the Christian church, this body of Christ, that Saul would probably be the least likely of all people. And yet that's exactly who God chose, and that's exactly who God used. And because of Paul's tenacity, his diligence, his intelligence, his perseverance, nothing would ever deter him from spreading the gospel once God got a hold of him. And I found it fascinating when he's on this journey to Damascus, where he's thinking about ways that he could maybe find Christians in the temple and take him as prisoners to Jerusalem. And then this light from heaven flashed around him, and he fell to the ground, and he heard this voice say, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" And then Paul said these words, "Who are you, Lord?" Now that's what we're going to pick up on tomorrow. So you want to make sure you come back tomorrow to hear more about this story, as we'll share a little bit about this remarkable transformation in the life of the man formerly known as Saul. We know him today as Paul. Well, thanks again for joining me today. Hope you have a great Tuesday. We'll see you back tomorrow for more fresh bread. Until then, may God richly bless you is my prayer. Have a wonderful day.